Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm BattyPrincess, I'm your hostess for tonight, and we are here back with Tangle Tower. How is everyone doing tonight? Hope everyone is doing okay. Hope everyone has been having a fantastic week. And yeah, let's just get going with the game. I'm excited to see what more of this mystery this game has in store for us. So let's do it. First of all, before we start, I just want to show you that in the art gallery, you can actually see notes by the creators, like how they design the characters and such. And I think it's so cool. If you want to read this, I will read this offline. But if you want to read this, you should totally go and buy this game and support the developers. Anyways, and it has stuff for everything. The locations, the clues, even the clues like had different designs. Like, look at this. So much stuff. Anyways, let us continue with the game. I'm gonna try the door thing later, like I said. Let's examine the room.
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8. Don't say it.
Sextopus. More handwritten sheet music.
Ah, yes, a giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor.
Oh, this is the same eye that is on the tower, on Tangle Tower, on the very top.
Always a good omen.
It's an eye. More handwritten sheet music.
Empty. A lamp. It is most definitely turned off. Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses mostly. I never realized there were so many shades of black.
Just a bunch of clothes on the floor. Nothing weird about that.
To you.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
Okay. That got me.
Is the bed. This is a vampire who needs firm support. A single red rose. How very...
Oh, that's the rose that Fitz gave Poppy.
Yeah, weird.
It's not weird, she treasures it.
Anything in the drawers?
Nothing you need to know about. It's a metronome for keeping time.
In a moment.
Various handmade posters.
What do you think those symbols mean?
Hopefully, nothing. Sheet music. Presumably for piano.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
Oh, is this the little tune that Freya sang on the tape? Maybe? We should ask Poppy about this.
There's a name for this kind of piano. You know, these ones that stand upright.
It's a metronome.
Okay, let's look at this puzzle.
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
Reset the puzzle.
Oh! I get it. you go. That was actually very quick. I'm sure I got it by accident, but...
What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph. Part of a photograph.
Oh! Oh my god, is this Poppy before she became, like, super goth? Is this why it's ripped off? She just wants to hide that she was all pink?
There's something about that pink cassette tape. Something suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
In a moment. I want to
Clipper's
do
not
the
here,
door
so-
puzzle. So, sun, sun, pa.
Nothing.
All 4
And
times.
those other
I
symbols.
think it is. I guess we'll come back later.
It's locked.
I
We
thought,
are.
what's that thing by the...
It made a noise.
I guess that was right. And the door's still locked.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress. We already...
Yeah, but the door didn't unlock.
Pa. Oh, did I do the inverse? I think I actually did the inverse.
A big glass.
There's a little mechanism.
Something happened.
That must be it. Finally, it's open.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
Oh my god, this is beautiful. The artwork for this game keeps blowing me away.
It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
A slightly weathered statue of a strange creature holding a lute. A pair of earmuffs has been placed on the head of the statue. Find 3 statues of a certain amphibious creature. Achievement unlocked.
Careful, we're pretty high up.
Yeah, we're on a roof. It's so relaxing. I might just stay here.
Oh, shall I go finish the investigation on my own?
That'd be great.
Trees. On a roof.
In a garden.
In a garden. On a roof. It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very well cared for.
The roses are bright red, too.
Now, aren't roses normally that color?
Exactly.
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges, too?
Oh, is this connected to the, like, aquarium in the main hall?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Oh good. A bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny, tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff. It's so relaxing. I might just... That's one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon. Ah, a little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
Giant stone frog? Love it.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
The feathers were mostly found resting on the tongue of the large stone frog. None of the feathers are from the ink-dipped bird.
It's the door into Fitz's room.
One of only 2 ways to get into the garden.
Oh yeah. The door into Poppy's.
So only Poppy and Fitz can get into the garden?
Ah, I guess so.
I don't see anything
More egg
else.
statues.
I don't get it. Why eggs?
Well, either they have some special significance, or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape to make.
I don't see anything here that we could mess with, so
It's so relaxing.
we should check with everyone else now the stuff that we found. Yeah, let's check Fifi's statement because we can confront her about stuff. But before we do that, tell me about Poppy.
Name, Poppy Pointer. Age, 19. Profession, oh. Apparently Poppy has defaced my notes. Under profession, I had of course originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Okay, tell me about all this stuff.
That blade,
It's a troll for gardening.
it is. Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be? An item from Poppy's childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough to ask.
You two are friends, right?
We are, yes.
But
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become tired of my company.
is it anything to do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her concerns simply lie elsewhere.
Who is that in the photo?
I'm quite sure that I have no idea.
Yeah, nobody wants to say that that's Poppy. Poppy would kill them.
Wrong.
Earmuffs do not go on statues. What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
No, these weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds, I think.
My argument stands.
Okay, so, let's cast suspicion.
Your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
Do you seriously require an explanation? Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10 and...
So, there are secrets written in here?
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
I don't see any clues to the other ones. Is the only thing I can think of is this one.
It's Fifi's diary, and she has written in it.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
So it's not a diary.
It's not a diary at all.
I'm not sure about that.
Huh.
Me neither.
I don't know how
This particular diary
how
is
the game
unused.
wanted us to get to
Doesn't look unused.
this conclusion, but sure.
It's somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was.
I don't see anything in the moment. Oh, I can't leave here, so I have the thing. Oh god, it was yesterday, right? That this showed up, so... Oh wait, I think I see it here in the photo. It's Freya's diary. I can kinda see it here. Yeah, look, it's Freya's diary. So she protects the
Let's take a closer
diary.
Look at this.
This blue book is the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
This blue book is the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
You were hiding Freya's diary in your room, and you kept it locked, too.
Why would I do either of these things?
Because you're best friends and she died?
Fifi didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
Is this true, Fifi?
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something,
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way. By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
might be easier if you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Very well. I will open it. However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
Alright, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Finally. What's in there?
Okay, what is in here? Secret diary, it's back, in the flesh this time. Was it me? Did I let it out? Maybe I should rip up the painting. Soul Barrel works. Impressive little thing. I have 2 now. Need 2 more. Found my way into the middle. Surprisingly simple compared to the harp. I saw them. All 5. Eyes blacked out. Despite everything, I still have a promise to keep. I'll do my best. She could do with a little company. Is this a clue? Maybe to... Maybe to the harp in the garden? Also, just... check and repeat. What's your opinion about Poppy?
Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so... different.
Different, like how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective. Good with feelings. Fiona, not so much. Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
Tell me about all this new stuff that we have.
I've never seen that before. Looks valuable. Now this is still in very good condition. Apart from the crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside of the horn?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Cunning. I've never been one for music. Why not ask Poppy instead?
We'll ask her soon.
Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
Not a clue.
The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is slightly tarnished by the elements, but it's not too bad. Might be salvageable. Is that a clue? Really?
It might be.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you alone. We can't talk to Flora, she's not gonna answer anyway, so let's just check what everyone else has to say. Hey Hawkshaw, I'm gonna bother you. Hawkshaw, what do you know about Poppy?
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite.
Tell me about all this new stuff we have.
This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around. Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially bipedal. Although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same? Yeah?
Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs. For blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
Okay.
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some suspicious leaves?
Hawkshaw is just so tired of Grimoire. Okay, Fitz, what do you have to say for yourself for all these things we found? Oh yeah, tell us about Poppy.
Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong? What's with the broken glass? Poppy's piano music. I remember when she started learning. She's improved a lot since then.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
Right. Of course.
Any idea who this is?
No idea.
Nobody wants to say that it's Poppy.
Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
We found these up in the rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave you alone because I'm gonna go talk to Poppy and see what she has to say. Hey Poppy, I'm gonna show you a bunch of stuff before we interrogate you.
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Please don't make me do a sound puzzle.
I don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like... Please stop talking to me.
Do you know where those earmuffs came from?
I put them there.
Why?
I found them lying around. I think they belonged to Fitz. I put them on the statue so he'd see them. I thought they looked like headphones. Like he's in the recording studio with his guitar. No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
Where?
I don't know, in a hallway. I can't remember exactly.
A little suspicious,
I
but
see a lot of birds up in the rooftop garden. They seem to really like it up there.
Why's that?
It's quiet.
okay, cast suspicion.
I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
What can you tell us about this cassette tape? Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya.
It
She
doesn't.
liked to have music playing while she was painting, you know.
And do you know what kind of music is on this tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Sure it doesn't belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
The tape was found at the crime scene. It was in the gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Why not?
Not my color.
You used to like these
You
colors.
used to like these colors.
Ridiculous.
We need a clue to compare with the cassette tape. Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
I'm just looking. I know it's probably this one. I'm just looking around for anything. Yeah, it's probably this. It's probably this one.
Let's take a closer look at this. The pink cassette tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo.
That is not me.
Yeah, it is. I'll prove it.
Hmm. Oh, it's just this. Okay.
You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's clearly a photo of you with your two best friends. Why'd you tear it up and then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward.
Poppy doesn't want you to look like that anymore.
Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it. Makes this whole thing seem kind of irrelevant.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
The reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
The passage of time is a powerful thing.
Hold on. This means that pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to Freya as a gift. Years ago.
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's gotta be a connection between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How did it get that crack down the middle?
I have no idea.
Well, thank you for Poppy for your help. Let us check this room first. The aviary. Oh, this is Penelope. Okay. So many birds. Holy.
I feel like I'm standing in a giant birdcage. A rather magnificent bush, somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
There's a letter P carved into the side. Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
My little writing desk. It's kinda cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle. They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is. They're bird cages. Oh, it totally is.
Does this count as being outdoors?
Yeah. No. Doesn't matter.
Bird diagrams. Hand-painted.
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff.
Bird
They're
diagrams.
beautiful. I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
3 brightly colored birds in a heavy ornate cage. Yellow, blue, and purple. Yellow. Purple. Maybe this is blue. There's 4 birds. Hello.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape, you're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
Tell me about yourself.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitzfellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Tell me, what were you doing yesterday before the murder?
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there, crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That, and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
Her design is fantastic. Let me take a screenshot. What were you doing? What can you tell me about the exact moment of the murder?
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. I looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Okay. Tell me... Oh my god, so much stuff. Tell me first about yourself.
Oh, she's beautiful! Who is she? Wait, is that me?
Tell me about the murder victim. What can you tell me about Freya?
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring. with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
I wonder if nobody caused Freya's. What if the bird just killed her? The bird killed her, or Freya faked her death because we haven't seen the body. The only people saying that she's dead are the family members. Nobody from the police said anything. Anyways, what can you tell me about Poppy?
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Also, hello, Sylvia. Thank you so much for the lurk. Really appreciate it, my dear. Hope you're having a good week. How are you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Penelope, what can you tell me about your fiance?
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
Tell me about Detective Hawkshot.
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
Interesting. Maybe the professor is the culprit and he's looking for the bird. Fifi, what can you tell me about Fifi?
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
Tell me about Flora.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Okay, now we have so many clues. Let's start in order. Tangle Tower.
You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
Case file.
Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist. I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling, don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
Thank you.
Oh, that's rather sad.
Is nobody gonna comment about the yellow being untouched?
Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian. Had her own priorities. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind. Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
Is she upset that she wasn't drawn?
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. Somebody taken an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one? Well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
Oh, is maybe the secret? The whole thing the detective is here, Hawkshot, is because maybe she's looking for eggs? Because a creature... So maybe the doctor, the professor is innocent, the professor is just studying extinct creatures. The bird shows up, he's like, oh, they're not extinct. I'm gonna hire a detective to go look and see if they laid eggs and bring them back from extinction. Anyways.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
Tiny little birds, so they are little birds. The picture is all coming together.
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess too.
Excellent. I don't know what that is. Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look. Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her. I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
Nobody wants to say. We already know it's Poppy.
Lovely. there used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question. I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
Yes, right now.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence. Ever get the feeling
Mannequins.
that's not... This is the fanciest room so far.
Too fancy.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
That might be the most pointless staircase I've ever seen. A little tea set. Looks recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed.
That bed. It's like something from a fairy tale.
Does it feel warm over here, or is it just me?
No, you're right. Maybe the bed has some kind of heater.
It's not coming from the bed. It's coming from the wall.
The sun is hitting the wall, maybe? That's how
A little
walls
bedtime
work.
reading?
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
This is the
I
What
don't
is-
know. It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds?
Ooh, that's the puzzle for this one. Okay, give it a second.
You know, the birds can easily get in and out of those cages.
Well, if that's true, can they even be considered cages? That's a big window. That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
A brightly colored flower in an unusual shape. It looks very healthy and well looked after. The soil in the pot looks fresh and moist. It's also an unusual blue color.
Anything in there?
Bed sheets.
That's not even remotely suspicious.
It's a
Are
birdhouse.
those?
Okay, let's check the bird.
Nope. They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
Hmm.
Reset the puzzle.
Is there...
Just gonna rest my brain.
There is no puzzle here.
It's a
Are
birdhouse.
those?
Oh, is it like a clock in the morning? Sleeping? Then yaws.
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the birds are arranged. Something to do with those white lines.
I'll do this later.
Well, we'll do this later. We'll do this later. I want to check the rest of the... Let's talk to everyone real quick just to show the clues that we got.
Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it? Between you and me,
I think it's a little vulgar.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
let's ask him about it.
In the moment. I want to check out everyone's opinion about Penelope. And also the new items.
Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to. That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger, always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle, and he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile.
Hey, what about you, Fifi? What do you have to say?
Name: Penelope Pointer. Age: 27. Profession: ornithologist.
I'm older than her.
Likes: birds. Dislikes: insects. Notes: Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her. I am scared of birds.
Why?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
Oh,
It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what.
What about you, Poppy? What do you have to say? Let me bother you a little bit.
I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective. Never seen that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No, we found it in Penny's room.
Right. Feathers flashing in the light, from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but
I forgot she gets all poetic about each person. She's basically saying nothing about nothing. It's nonsense. What about Hawkshaw? What do you have to say about Penny?
I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoiled child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse. 3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would. And you consider that important evidence, do you?
Stop judging my detective skills. Okay, I see that the ad break is coming, so we're gonna stay right here staring at Fitz. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. 5? Yeah, 5 minutes. Just enough time for the ad break to move away, and we can enjoy time playing together without any ads bothering us. Be right back, 5 minutes. Hello everyone, welcome back. Ad break is over, we can continue playing. We were going to talk to Fitz. So Fitz, before we talk to you, what can you tell me about these extra items we have?
Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they like her pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I think it's Tamara, Tabitha, oh, I don't remember.
A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to.
Okay, tell me about your fiancée.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good.
Cal, okay, suspicion.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower, holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak.
He was probably taking care of the flower for Penelope, because Penelope doesn't take care of it.
Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding...
He was probably
something
holding
else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
the little spade thing. I forgot the name. Trawler? Anyways, he was holding that.
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
Connection to Fitz. I'm trying to find it. It's not this. Is it a flower from the bird book, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what it could be this time. Something to compare directly with the potted flower. The potted fruit? Oh, because of the soil?
Let's take a closer look at these. The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again when she's not there. Water the flower, change the soil. Just trying to keep it alive.
Why don't you ask it back? Just ask it back from her. Don't let it die in her room. Okay, let's go back and check the puzzle here. Because we have to figure out what to do with these birds. Am I trying to find like, is like this bird with this bird transforming to this bird and there's one bird that combines into everyone? I imagine these two become the middle one. Blue mixes with yellow to make green. And maybe this two? It wouldn't work that way. Ah, this one is difficult. What if?
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the birds are arranged. Something to do with those white lines.
I'm trying. It has something to do with the white lines, but I'm trying to figure out what exactly they want of me here. Let me try something real quick.
Nothing.
I think the birds are related to each other.
Oh, so my first assumption was more correct. Now, how do you make the birds relate to each other? So... Oh, wait, this is a geological tree. It's not that they all get combined into the middle one. This one, these two will have the one in the middle. The one in the middle with this one will get another one here. These two are combined into this one. Okay. There's... hmm, there's a bunch of them. Okay, so maybe you two together make this one. And then...
I guess that's wrong.
It's a family tree. The colors and eyes combine as they go down the family line. You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
Yeah, this is what I did. So, okay, so the mouth doesn't mean anything, just the color and the eye.
I guess that's wrong.
It's a family tree. The colors and eyes combine. You'll need to start with blue and yellow.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's the one.
Hey, not bad.
I swear I tried that combination before, but just on the other side, but okay.
Did the door open? What's in there?
Now, get her! A ripped piece of paper crumped onto a ball. Red flower petals are found inside. A message is angrily scrawled onto the paper. Now get her. The flower petals originate from red roses growing in the rooftop garden. Does it look like... No. Hey Penny. What's up with this?
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope, you'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message?
The bird?
What's the deal with the petals?
Maybe?
It's really none of your business.
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Yeah, let's ask her now.
So, yeah, we found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
Oh, is it maybe from the rose the Poppy got from Fitz?
They're from red tulips.
You think so?
Maybe not. It's those red flower petals.
I was just like,
Petals.
it's not gonna be. I was like, it's not gonna be the first one because it's too obvious.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
But I guess it was that obvious.
Something that shows the roses and who they belong to.
Is it gonna be? Let me just check it, the other ones just in case. Yeah, no, it's the painting.
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those two bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
You try to use the birds.
Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and distract them. Almost. Maybe just change. One of Penny's almost. Maybe. One of Penny's birds was used to spy on
Really, evidence?
and steal evidence from them. We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
Nah, she has.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's.
Oh, we
birds.
have it.
Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden. Let's take a closer look at these. This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
I can't stand it! Knowing the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell.
Maybe you should just take care of the gift he gave you.
I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
Can we tell this to Fitz? It would be nice we could tell like Fitz like, hey, your fiancé is kind of spying on you because she thinks that you're going out with Poppy.
Those petals, they,
What?
they're red.
Yeah, he's not gonna say anything. You know what? I'm a little too tired. I'm gonna stop clicking on every little object for every little person. Let's just go talk to the professor. I'm a little tired. I want to see new dialogue. Ooh, this place looks gorgeous. Okay.
Yeah, it's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime. Pretty.
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally? It's tidier than my desk. Oh, the notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
It's tidier than...
So, even the most well-used notebook.
It's tidier than...
So, even the
Okay,
most
okay.
well-used notebook. You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
I would look at it.
Later, we're probably gonna open this drawer.
There's something kinda disappointing about this room. I just expected a bit more from an astronomy tower.
Oh, does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to? A Spyglass to the Stars, volumes 1 to 12.
They're in very good condition.
It's
also daytime.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos. There's something kinda...
Okay, let's check this before we talk to
one of those.
the professor.
A mechanical...
I would look...
Wait a minute. Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Oh my god. Okay, I get it. I know I get it. I get it. Oh, and I can move them individually. Oh no.
No, that was it.
Nice work.
That was a very simple puzzle, at least. Hello, Gray. How are you doing, my dear? I'm EP Boo here. Hello, EP. How are you doing? Are you doing okay, dear? Having a good week? Don't worry about being quote-unquote late. There is never a bad time for you to show up here. We love your presence. Hope you're doing okay.
Did you hear that? Something unlocked.
There's a little hatch underneath? What's in there?
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
Ooh, the Golden Beetle. Various research notes and diagrams. The Golden Beetle, named for its exoskeleton, composed of a mineral approximately 90% identical to gold, has a lifespan of several years. It fends off predators with a loud hiss, records of over 95 decibels, and by being completely undigestible. This mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those that see it. Interesting. Hey, Professor.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
Why are your hands so well animated like that?
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, Professor.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the Cosmos I say hi.
Maybe he's upset that he doesn't get enough money with his research and he wants to get the Golden Beetle from Freya and hire Hawkshaw to look for it.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the Fellow Tower later that evening.
Tell me what happened.
I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever, then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping. So I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Okay. Now, oh my gosh, so many items. Okay. Let's go little by little. Tell me about yourself, Percival.
I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Tell me about the murder victim. What's your opinion of her?
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her, but I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Okay, now spill the beans about every other person in the residence.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end. He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends. Ah yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her.
Yeah,
Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally.
The more he opens his mouth, the more he sounds suspicious, even though he probably isn't. The more he sounds suspicious.
Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you. What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived. Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time. Until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
Okay, so Pointer and Felix, Percival and Felix are the ones that keep like complaining about family. It seems like the children don't really care too much about the field. It's mostly Felix and Percival. Maybe Flora, but Flora we can't say for sure because she doesn't say anything.
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh no, I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never. Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away.
Okay, let's go little by little, every single clue.
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is.
Why did you get so upset about the statue?
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same. Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar. I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar. Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical. I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
Is this important?
Possibly.
Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Yeah, no, for sure he hired Hawkshaw to look for the beetle.
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
I still think it's Hawkshaw.
It is a big red thing.
Like, I still think it's the silhouette of Hawkshaw looking like from above, like looking up at her.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there. That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it. A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary. What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Because it's a microscope, like Hawkshaw said it, unless she's lying.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all. Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me. Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fish man.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. Oh my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Oh, that's why it's so
Poppy's
important
piano
for
teacher was
her.
her mother?
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall.
That's why she keeps it.
What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either. I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Always wears?
Whenever I've seen him, yes. I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue. That's rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage? What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
You're lying through your teeth.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
You mean it.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Later. Oh, I'm gonna try and talk to the suspects about your case file and talk to the suspect about Tangle Tower. Oh, I can do this one. So I probably have to do a talk with Hawkshaw first. Okay, you know what? Before we talk to Hawkshaw, let's just go around and show everyone the little things that we have left.
Goodness me! What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold. Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon? See the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
Okay. They just like each other. I don't think Flora is gonna say anything, so I'm just gonna go down and talk to Fifi.
Name, Percival Pointer. Age, 57. Profession, none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me. her to whom the message refers?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate this object? Next! Now this is interesting. Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
And yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
Nope.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is the exact opposite of astronomy.
Yeah, you could.
I would not say that, however.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all matter in the universe, living or inanimate.
Okay, little girl, I'm leaving. Actually, I'm gonna talk to Flora last after talking to Hawkshaw, because who knows, maybe there isn't something if you budge her enough.
Eavesdrop what the stars are saying. Earthly tether, slowly fraying, floating, helpless from the worst. Take a moment, kneel.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip because I forgot about that.
Those petals.
What about them?
It's nothing. They're just unusual. You get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
Oh, I got an achievement. Listen to Poppy's poems. I guess that's because I bother her about every single person.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Okay, who's left? Okay, let's talk to Fitz. Then we're gonna bother Flora a little bit. We might skip some dialogue because Flora might just be silent the whole time, and I want to speed things up.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
Okay, let's bother for Flora a little bit. Hey Flora, do you mind if I chat with you a little bit? Oh my god, so many people.
We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try. We spoke to your daughter Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her. We spoke to Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials? You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
The conversation with Flora is less about what she has to say and more about what the two have to say to her.
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know. Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker. Grimoire, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins.
Yeah, just clicking real quick because she's probably not gonna say anything about anything here. Yeah.
Do you recognize any
Well,
of these feathers?
no.
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general? Do you know anything about this beetle?
Okay, just need to make sure. Okay, I'm gonna leave you. Bye. I'm gonna go talk to... There's probably a room here. Behind the aquarium. Oh, through the garden. Maybe you jump in the garden and there's a room here. Anyways. Hawkshaw, I came to bother you a little bit. Let me talk about the others first.
Professor Pointer is a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself. What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
Yeah, because it's her client.
These people really are ridiculous, aren't they? Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it?
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Okay, we're gonna cast suspicion upon you.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
Everyone keeps saying it's a telescope. So I'm gonna say that it's not a microscope at all.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me, and so I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
You should ask him.
Guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated.
Freya.
The lead suspect
Yeah.
is your murder victim.
Yeah, okay, so Freya had the beetle in her room. Her room was, if we go back there, we can see that like every drawer, everything is like pull open. Let me just check here real quick, see if something...
I'm still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
It's a bell. Is this a beetle? Yeah, I don't know what these shapes will mean, but I was curious to see what they would be. Okay, let's go back and see what the detectives have to say about this.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon. Then I heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs.
It's kind of nice to see everything like getting together like this.
I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the bellows staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me.
I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
Yeah, nobody's
They
lying.
don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Oh, we need... Is there more clues here that we miss? What have we missed? Oh my. I can see that the ad break is coming in a moment. So we're gonna go on a break. We'll be back in like 5-6 minutes. And then we're gonna try to find out where this elusive little clue is. Okay? So be right back. And we're back, everyone. Let us try to find this elusive clue. So, have we ever found anything in Penelope's room?
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh,
No, we found the birds. That was the clue.
my little writing desk.
There's nothing written in the book.
What's with those little windows?
I think
oh.
they're there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything here. We already checked with the professor. We've checked this room already.
That bed. It's like some.
Does it feel?
No, you're
It's
right.
not coming from the bed.
This is the.
Who?
What
I don't
the-
know.
Yeah, it was the plant, and it was the paper. Yes.
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges too?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Let me look at the entrance area.
Now it's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it anymore.
We've already looking here. Is there something in Fifi's room?
Fifi's got something?
What is all this? It's Poppy. That's actually a pretty good drawing. It's a drawing of Penny.
Looks like Professor Pointer.
Looks like Fitz. It's Detective Hawkshaw.
Is Fifi...
Maybe. Did you ever try that?
Did you notice who isn't?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. And Fifi herself.
Where could we need to go? Maybe the tower again? We're missing one thing because the professor still hasn't. That's not open, so we're missing something for the professor.
It's tidier than my den.
So, even the most well-used note.
Every astronomy tower needs a telescope.
I want to try.
Oh, if something happened to Freya, to Freya, he couldn't have seen it.
It's that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Don't you think it would fall off? In the wind.
Maybe it's glued down.
I can just about see the gramophone.
Is that a window?
I think it is.
Is there another room above Flora's room?
We should check that next time we're over there. You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up.
She's looking for the bird.
Behind her is the back side of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle. I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall. The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges. Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
Yeah, because his books about astronomy are like all new, not open, notes not taken. He looks for bugs.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that. Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's... you... It's a very precious specimen. Incredibly rare. Valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around. Both towers and in the gardens, too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
Later, we...
Freya was definitely up to something.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could have missed something.
Later, we need to check the secret room on top of Flora's room. Oh.
It's a statue of a wolf. Standing up straight, like a man.
You know there's a name for that.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed.
Just dusty junk.
It's a jar. The head screws off.
Huh.
Someone painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious. Where's that light coming from?
Well, it's just daylight, I think. There's a decent gap between those floorboards.
Oh.
Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is?
What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it.
No, open it.
What's in that little box? I bet it's skull.
You know, maybe I won't.
Okay, fine.
At least the moths are kept well fed.
What is that?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
That's the last clue. Okay. Let's go downstairs real quick and talk to everyone about this.
Do you know what this is?
Guess not.
I hope we get to hear her voice by the end. It would be funny, but it would also be cool if she didn't spoke the whole game. So I'm happy with whatever they do.
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think anyone will have anything to say, but just in case.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
And Grimoire is always right, even though Sally keeps making fun of him.
Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
Just checking, because someone ought to know something, right?
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
What about you, Fitz? I don't think Fitz will have anything to say, but you know.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
That was a joke. Anyways, let's go to the garden. Oh!
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
This is my friend. This is my new friend. He likes music. Simple melodies will move his soul. Best of luck, you two. Best of luck, you two, Freya. So, was my theory that Freya is alive and faking her death just... I wouldn't try some kind of layer of darkness in... Every time that we play music, what are the places that we know have music? The gramophone and Poppy's room.
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well?
It's a perfect match.
Oh, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
Oh, new chapter. Unfinished business. Only now we're going on another chapter. Okay, we're gonna check the musical errors in a moment. Let's just talk to her.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
A real knife? No.
Okay.
Blood from the paint pot. Almost. Maybe just change one. Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
Something fell from above onto her. Maybe. Anyways, music, right? So we have here.
Whatever it is, it's...
Well, it is gotta practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
What if...
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Okay, so the piano is this. What are the instruments? Oh yeah, we have the gramophone.
It's piano music.
Then we have this one. Just in case. Because there's humming. Maybe it counts.
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
Okay, where else can we use this? Where else do we hear a tune? I mean, there's the little guy in the garden.
Another little
He's
statue.
playing
He's
on...
also...
Well, they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
Trees.
In a garden.
In a garden. A little pond.
See those metal...
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. Looks like somebody broke them and then...
What if we go to Poppy's room because of the piano?
There's a name, you know.
Oh wait! I'm a dummy. Give me a second. You can see the instruments, I think, on the thing here.
I'm still not sure.
Should we take another look?
So it's a piano, the mouth, bird, and bell.
Let's come back later.
The birds are here. Where's the bell?
They're bird cages. But the birds
Is that a
Oh,
mouth?
it totally is.
And especially...
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Ah.
They're bird cages. Oh, it totally is.
Can I maybe ask you about the note?
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? I thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
Hmm. Where else have we seen birds or bells?
It's an illustrated
That's
board. It was left.
ever so slightly unnerving. A chalkboard.
Is this a library or?
Math.
Don't look. You'll
even-
give yourself a headache.
Any idea what this
Not
means?
a clue.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that. Books about
Well,
insects.
there's not a single.
Huh.
What about the birds here? Because there are some birds in the little bath here. Okay, now a bell. Where have we seen a bell?
This one's
Okay, that is.
looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
It is a bell, right? Yeah, it's a bell. Oh, here.
That's all four melodies, I think.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
Yeah, absolutely. We have nothing else to do.
Let's try this again.
Thank you, game,
You know,
for
I think we might be able to solve this now.
thank you, game, at least for helping us.
That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
Yeah, I knew it. I knew that that was a door since the beginning.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
Underneath. Continue. Yes, please. I want to see the rest of this mystery.
Is that a lab coat?
Warning, hand wash only. Size, small.
Bugs. Big ones.
Looks like they're made of metal. Hand-drawn entomology charts. Hand-drawn entomology charts.
Thirsty?
It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold. A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
I like that you called them rooms.
It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
I see the door, people. Don't worry. I'm gonna check that last.
Forensic Entomology, Volume 3.
That's an incredibly specific area of study.
What a mess.
Any idea what this is all about?
Oh.
Reminds me of the chart from the library.
The one from the chalkboard.
Yeah. Is that a periodic table?
No, but it does kind of look like one.
What are those symbols?
They're alchemic symbols, mostly based on the planets, the sun, the moon, stuff like that.
Huh. This looks like it was drawn in a hurry.
Didn't we see those same symbols in the greenhouse?
I got an achievement. Find the 3 sets of similar research notes.
What's in there? It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
9 beetles. All different, all dead.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean. 9 beetles. It's mostly numbers. 9 beetles.
Okay, we're just checking.
Chemistry apparatus. A candle, perched on a barrel.
Very medieval.
I was thinking pirates.
Medieval pirates.
Rows of plants, growing in wide wooden boxes.
What color is the soil?
It looks black, but it's too dark to tell. A glass tank, it's full of plants.
There's a layer of condensation on the inside. Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it? Weird looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
Oh no. Okay, we're gonna check that in a moment. I wanna check the door first.
It's a hatch.
But we're already in the basement.
Depends on your perspective.
Let's not go down just yet. We still haven't explored this room properly.
Okay, so we do need to do this first.
Seems likely, doesn't it?
We can't mess with this, so... If I try to... Oh, this is gonna be a hard one. Reset. We want the key to come from here, so... That's the first thing, the key has to come from here. The thing is... Like, this line never connects with anything. That's the problem. Unless it's like this. We could also do this. Oh my god.
No, that was it.
Huh, okay, it worked.
Nice work.
Sorry, I was so focused.
Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
A folder containing research notes and diagrams. Our unique flora and fauna is the byproduct of a number of as yet unidentified chemicals. These chemicals are continuously present in the water, forming clouds and filling the lake. This causes a variety of mutations in plants and animals. Smaller creatures such as arachnids, insects, mollusks, amphibians, and crustaceans are the most affected. However, the chemicals may travel up the food chain and cause mutations in birds and reptiles. As far as we know, mammals remain completely unaffected. As far as we know.
Whose research is this?
Freya, obviously.
This is some seriously in-depth research.
That's impressive, but it's
Freya
incomplete.
is,
There's a section missing.
according to everyone, Freya was the most intelligent person in the whole residence.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
Maybe it's Freya.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
Yes.
Do these puddles worry you?
Why?
Because the thing is gonna crash upon us with the weight of the lake.
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point.
Basements don't normally have windows.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
In a moment,
It's an old coat rack.
I'm looking
Looks
around, gamer.
thoroughly neglected.
2 cloaks and a green hat draped on top for good measure.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty.
This room looks old. Like, old.
It makes the rest of the house seem relatively modern.
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
Missing Mansion, north side cross section. Oh, this was when the house was made. I knew there was a room here from the grand hall and connected to the rooftop.
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it? The rooftop garden. That name makes a little more sense in this context.
The grand hall.
What's that thing in the middle?
I think it's that big glass tube.
I knew it.
So, the whole house is built on top of some kind of platform.
Apparently.
And that's the lake, right? I think that horizontal line might be the water level.
It used to be a lot lower down than it is now.
That's the room we're in now. It must be. It's not labeled as anything on these plans, though.
I think it already existed when this was made. It's the room above us. The one we were just in.
The laboratory?
Yeah. The library.
Just see if they comment
Storage.
anything.
It's Freya's room.
Misted Mansion. North side cross section. Is it not Tangle Tower?
Tangle Tower. Before the towers?
It's the aviary. Music room.
A bedroom.
Penny's room, I think. A bedroom.
That's Fifi's room, isn't it?
Okay.
This seems pretty significant.
It is pretty significant.
Great.
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
Oh, this was connected to the real thingy. A sleek but sturdy metal rod has been stabbed into a photograph. The rod has a curved and pointed tip like an arrow or the hand of a clock. It has a small loop at the back with a short length of red rope connected to it, and the metal is clean. It's perfectly clean and polished.
So what's the photo?
It's been framed, but it's slightly damp. The photograph shows a young girl. A large man is sitting next to her. Around them are several red and white birds. A metal object was stabbed onto the picture, leaving a hole next to the man's chest. That's not Felix. No. She had a husband beforehand, right? Oh, no, wait, no, I just realized she's too small here. I thought it was just like he was really tall, but no, I just saw the legs. This is her father.
Do you know who it is? In the photo?
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
The Misdeeds of the Sea and Sky, a children's picture book. It looks very old. The Ink Dip, an elegant bird with red and white plumage. The Silver Snake, an aquatic reptile with no eyes and long tongue. The Soul Bearer, a crab with 3 differently sized claws. The Amphobe, a frog-like creature walking on 2 legs. This is the serpent, the headless serpent from the garden area. This is the bird. And this is the toy. This is the little guys playing songs that we see around the building.
Old cardboard
How
box.
exciting.
They're also empty.
Yeah, I think this is it. Let's talk to her.
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
That's not right.
Can I see the picture again? Oh, thank you. Oh, this one?
That's not right.
Oh, this one.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
Lord Remington.
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father. Meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room.
Oh, we know where to go. We know where to go. No worries.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
Oh,
A ladder.
Want to go up?
yeah, sure. I thought we were gonna jump down the water, but no. The Hidden Heart. Oh, the plot thickens. Look at this! This is so cool! Okay, we have so much to look at here.
Dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one.
That's a bookcase. It's mostly empty.
What a surprise.
I'm gonna check that door for less.
They called this room a study?
What would you call it?
The secret death chamber of doom.
Do those look like scratch marks to you? On the glass?
Yeah, they're on the inside. It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
A large central sheet of paper has been pinned to it. 4 lines have been drawn from a gap to the center. A smaller sheet underneath features a drawing resembling the silhouette of a cloak. This is Rockshaw. This is Hawkshaw. And the lines, the 3 lines, are this. Was I right all along that this is Hawkshaw? That's Detective Hawkshaw all along?
It's a wooden pinboard, hung up.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
Holy... Okay.
Centipede, millipede. How many legs has it got?
Too many.
You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3. Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
A photograph in a sturdy wooden frame. It's dusty and looks several years old. A brass plaque at the base of the frame reads, "The Ambassadors of Misted Mansion." The photo shows 2 women and 3 men wearing a variety of different styles of clothing. All 5 people have had their face crudely covered with black ink. It's been a while since I played the second game of the series, but doesn't that look like the the murder victim of the second game?
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3? Ugh. You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar? This crab really reminds.
little one-
Yeah, but I don't think I've seen it more recently.
We have so this is closed, so straight up. Okay.
It's got
Also, crab. Perfect.
A crossbow?
What's this?
Oh, is that what killed her? Someone shooting from above?
something somebody didn't want us to find.
Yeah, look! The wheel thingy connected to the... Okay, okay.
What is it?
Everything's getting connected.
Some kind of fish and a bird skull, I guess?
If that's a bird skull, we're talking about a 15-foot bird here.
Well, how about we stop talking about it?
Nice chair.
It's still warm.
Maybe it's just heat from the incinerator.
Maybe.
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
We just found it.
Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Several pages have been ripped out, but a few remain. 15 ambassador located, finally. Can't say I harbor any optimism, but still somehow disappointed. No better than the rest of them. Took my misted friend into the music room for experiments. It works. Perhaps too well. The laboratory was another disappointment. All the effort for what? He's even more short-sighted than I could have guessed. Went to the bottom. Nice view. It's been mostly cleaned out, but I have what I need. She got in. She was careful. Nothing was moved, but I know. It's time. Is this Hawkshaw? I feel like Hawkshaw is the villain.
It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
Not much more than a pile of dust and ash. Among the ashes are several black buttons. Red colored scraps of fabric are still visible. Oh, like a plushie of the bird and the feather.
Someone's been using this room.
Yeah, so I see that the ad break is coming soon, and I really don't want to interrupt the game at this moment. So we're gonna go on a quick break. We'll be back in like 10 minutes, because I also need to go to the bathroom. I need to get some water. You all should get some water as well. So yeah, we'll be back in 10 minutes because of the ad break, or 8 minutes. We'll be back. Go get some water, everyone. Hello everyone, welcome back. Let us continue with the game. I'm so excited to see how this story is gonna go. Anyways, let's continue.
I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion, but nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard.
Yeah, this is
Feels like
Freya's
someone
room.
put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
Yeah. This is the painting. And this is this. I was right, it is Hawkshaw.
The painting
Holy.
from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
Yeah, we're only getting like little pieces now. There's something going on.
Photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
Oh, we know where the other parts are. We found them
We
already.
found them already. I think that might, but not this part.
Oh, sorry. Can I look back again? Oh, the top. Okay, well. Oh, this is the top? It's a sniper. Ooh. This one.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
New challenge, new chapter, the murder.
Time to solve this.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
Mm-hmm. It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
It was fired from above.
It was fired from above.
The attic.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait, the arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was.
So she was laying down.
Nope, doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless...
Freya was already lying on her back.
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
Maybe she was just relaxing. Yeah, she was relaxing.
She was relaxing.
The music from the gramophone.
Maybe not.
Oh,
Freya
really?
was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
Either one could be true, to be honest. She could have fallen unconscious. I think it's this one. She fallen unconscious. Maybe the bird showed up and she was like, the bird, and fell down.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
Paint fumes?
Paint fumes.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
Damn.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
The gramophone. Because it wouldn't make sense to be Flora, would it?
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
It was the music being played.
It was the music being played.
What?
Let's try that again.
The gramophone by itself
Okay.
can't do that.
Gramophone emits poison gas. That's ridiculous. We used it before. There was something in the gramophone.
There was something in the gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small.
Oh, what was hiding in the gramophone? I don't know, the bird? It scared her?
That's not it.
No.
That's not it.
Are we talking about
That's not it.
the item or the thing inside the the golden beetle? Maybe.
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the tunnel.
Oh yes.
Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. Now, I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The horn it's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
What was affected by the power frequency? The gramophone itself broke.
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
The headphones, the earmuffers. They protect
They
themselves.
protected themselves.
How?
The earmuffs, the earmuffs.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
Sure.
I can see the stars.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
Oh, the bird is scared? Scared them, maybe?
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
Yellow has not been touched. Is it gonna finally come like that the yellow was not used?
Bothering you.
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room.
The golden beetle is the yellow. She was... Freya only used the colors that she will actually use in the painting. She had gold and yellow because the golden beetle was in the room with them. I didn't pay attention to the question. Oh no,
We found it here in Flora's tower.
can you remake the question,
Are you
please?
sure about that?
Can you make the question again, please?
Not
Sorry.
entirely. Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
We found it somewhere else. Yes.
Found it somewhere else.
It was burned.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
It's in the unfinished painting.
It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it. Then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it. But she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
Yeah.
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
Yeah, the golden beetle. The yellow paint. was going to be used to paint. Anything else I can paint?
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
A yellow pot. The egg?
That's not it.
Oh, one of the birds?
There she is. Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did. But she's a very good listener. Well, now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
Damn, was I right all along that the bird lady was a suspect just because it was bird relate like everything was related to birds? Why wouldn't I tie her hands?
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
Justice for Freya.
Justice for Freya.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy. The volition to create something from nothing. The willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower. And you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
She's lonely.
I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other two Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose, too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
Ooh, she said the same age Freya is now. Not was. Is. The study.
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to
Oh yes!
through.
Sally, our assistant, really mentioned, our sidekick, she did mention that Penelope's room felt warm. It was not just a random comment about the warm tone that the room had. The room actually felt warm. It was not a visual joke.
Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
Sure, yeah.
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
The notebook? Or... Oh, or maybe the secret research.
That's not it.
No? The notebook or the group photo?
That's not right.
The 5
Yeah.
missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of a misted mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself. All empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts. The creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And what happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystics. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5, completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to
Damn,
Tangle
lady.
Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up, but instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me.
Freya.
My dear Uncle Pointer
Or?
had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy.
Oh, okay.
A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
Yeah, he found the golden beetle.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had a little use left for Penny Pointer as she was.
Should be also, you were really fast because to make our way inside the house and into the aviary to talk to Penelope, she has to make her way from outside to the aviary through the outside area or through the grates on the floor, like on the wall, because she can't bump into us as she's changing disguises.
Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Ooh. The will of Freya Fallow. Also, there was another, like, a fourth square of questions to ask her, but the game didn't allow us. That's cool. Did it update? It didn't update. Okay, so what happened?
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Yes, I did know.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Oh, did she run away? Did she take our boat?
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fit saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
What? That's the end? Penelope just escapes? I kinda like the poetic thing about leaving the bug just to live their own life. But oh my god, what a game! What an amazing game! A little... it was so verbose by the end, but such a good game. I'm so looking forward to the next game. I think it's called The Mermaid's Mask. I'm so looking forward to the next game, the next mystery. Do we get any post-credit thing? Maybe? Question mark? No, that was the end of the game. Complete the game. Achievement unlock. And we get everything. Yeah, so many notes. The clues. We have the soundtrack if you want to listen to. Yeah, no, this game was a masterpiece. I'm so happy to have played it for everyone. No words, just really good game. Huh? I'm not gonna show the art gallery, I'm gonna leave it for you. If you want to see the art gallery, go buy the game yourself. Go play the game. It's amazing. Go support these developers. Really good game, amazing. Looking forward to the next one.